George W. Bush is honoring the victims of 9/11 on the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attacks which took nearly 3,000 lives.
Today we remember your loss, we share your sorrow, and we honor the men and women you have loved so long and so well.
Speaking at the Flight 93 Memorial in Pennsylvania, Bush says the lives of the victims remain precious to the nation and their families. Bush was president on September 11, 2001. Family members of 9/11 victims gather in Lower Manhattan to mark the anniversary of the terrorist attacks. Scott Pringle reports.
Mike Lowe's daughter, Sarah, was a flight attendant on the plane that went into the North Tower.
In the last 20 years, my family and I have at times known unbearable sorrow and disbelief about the lives that would never be.
There were bell tolls, moments of silence, tears, musical performances, and the annual tradition of the reading of the names of the nearly 3,000 killed, some getting very emotional.
And my father, Philip David Miller, we love and miss you. You'll always be in our hearts.
America's top military leaders are remembering 9/11. One of 4 hijacked airliners slammed into the Pentagon, killing 184.
We know that you carry pain every day. We know that you bear your losses, not just at times of ceremony, but also in ordinary moments of absence.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says the sorrow never ends. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice says the only time she ever raised her voice at then President Bush was when he insisted on returning to the White House on the day of the attacks. I'm Cameron Fairchild, NBC News Radio.
From the KFOX 14 Severe Weather Center, this is Chief Meteorologist Sandra Diaz. Our temperature highs during the day are climbing right back to around mid-90s. Overnight, they're staying nice and mild, though, in the 60s. Our weather pattern comes compliments of a high pressure, which shows signs of possibly changing yet again by the middle of next week, possibly reintroducing a chance for rain.
The Republican National Committee is promising to take legal action against President Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel released a statement saying the president lied, and because of that, small businesses will be negatively impacted nationwide. She went on to say the RNC will take the administration to court to protect Americans and their liberties. Biden's plan requires companies with more than 100 workers to either get vaccinated or to get tested once a week. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Companies are turning over thousands of documents to the committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riots.
They and others are being asked to produce records on many topics. They include the spread of misinformation, domestic violent extremism, and any foreign influence during last year's election. Committee Chairman Benny Thompson is giving the companies that also include Reddit, Snapchat, and YouTube 2 weeks to comply. I'm Lisa Taylor.
The treatment of pregnant Amazon warehouse workers could be the subject of a federal investigation.
6 senators want the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission to probe the issue as they cited repeated reports of pregnant workers being mistreated. Among the issues senators want investigated include workers being punished for taking time off to tend to medical needs related to their pregnancy. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders and Democrat Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts put their name on the letter. I'm Brian Shook.
A copy of the comic book in which Spider-Man makes his first appearance makes history.
The New York Times reports a copy of Amazing Fantasy number 15 from 1962 sold for $3.6 million at auction. It's now believed to be the most expensive comic book ever sold. Throughout the 10-page story, Uncle Ben tells Peter Parker that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. I'm Matt Mattinson.
The Coast Guard is investigating hundreds of oil spills along the Gulf Coast caused by Hurricane Ida. I'm Cameron Fairchild, NBC News Radio.
20 years ago, we knew our world would never be the same.
We vowed to never forget, and we never will.
We've learned that 20 years can pass in the blink of an eye.
We should never miss the opportunity to give a loved one, a friend, a neighbor, or maybe